Hi, this is Carvi Rana and I'm joined by Mr. Satish Lakaraju. He's Global Head Air Freight and Pharma Vertical for Wizz. He's also the man behind CCUB 2023. Welcome, sir. It's always great being here at CCUB 2023. But before I actually jump into asking you questions on that, I would like to pick your brain on some generic pharma questions because I see that as your interest area. So, sir, first I would like to ask, what are your perspectives on the recent surge in, online grocery, processed foods, and pharmaceutical sales, and how have these trends impacted the cold chain industry in India?
Thank you, Kavi, for having me today on the discussion on CCUB 2023 and the particular question on the online sales of grocery, pharma, and rest of them. I think this is a good trend to have clearly because what it basically does is that the ease of purchasing by the end customer becomes much more easier. Two, the chances of counterfeit medicines can also be tackled to a much larger way because if it can start coming from the manufacturers directly through their authorized distributors, so you reduce the chance of pilferage, the reduction in multiple layers of handling is reduced, so the safety angle sort of it. In respect to the cold chain also, what happens is that there's uniform standardization that can be built in for e-commerce companies and courier companies in terms of how they manage the cold chain. Currently, in the whole process, there is no standardization, and this is something which I think is a good trend to happen. But it's just that there's a lot of involvement that is required to bring it to a next level.
Well, sir, coming to my next question, the cold chain sector in India is expected to grow at a CAGR of 14% during 21 and 23. What opportunities and challenges do you see in this rapid growth, and how can stakeholders capitalize on the opportunities while they also address the challenges?
So to address this in two ways, one is the opportunities and other is the challenges. India is growing rapidly because the population is there and we have the numbers in favor of us. Some people might look at it as we not having the mass, which is why it would have been a challenge. So we don't have this issue of not having economies of scale. But what is positive about is the middle class population in the country is no more really a middle class, and the buying power capacity is gone up substantially. The third is that earlier it used to be one family, one earning member. Now the 4 people earn, which means they have surplus cash, which means they're going to continue to buy. So that's the opportunity angle that one has to. But what are the challenges if there is such a great opportunity? The biggest challenge is the gap of infrastructure available on the ground is substantial. Reefer trucks is one area where a lot of investment has to come. Then someone may say that why, if there is such a great opportunity, why is that people are not ready to invest in reefer trucks? So one needs to understand is the return on investment in reefer trucks is extremely low because they can't manage return loads. So what goes in terms of one direction, in the other direction they don't have loads, and no one pays for that empty return cost of it. As a result, the number of trips that they do on any of these reefer trucks is not sustainable. Second, even in India today, the electricity cost in running the warehouses is at a very high commercial rate, and you can't really stop away from stopping your generators or inverters or air conditioning equipment because the cold storage will get impacted. So these are the challenges. It needs greater intervention both from the government side and also in terms of what PLI schemes and other schemes can be publicized more. There are schemes in place, but the awareness is lower.
So coming to my next question, I would like you to share any specific experience or insight that you have gained from witnessing issues faced by people on ground in the cold chain sector. And are there any critical bottlenecks or pain points that need immediate attention?
No, I think this is one of the things on which I've been personally working on for quite some time. So one of the challenge that is there and which government should look at it is that there is equipment available for transportation of pharma and especially on the active and the passive side. But the custom policies are still a little too rigid, which can be addressed at the earliest, which will ease up a lot of challenges that the exporters and importers are facing. I think this is an area which is simple. Technology can be deployed, and ease of doing business in terms of what customs has been working towards it could be one area which I think can be attended immediately.
So now, if you, in your opinion, what are the key components of a resilient cold chain ecosystem, and why is it important, particularly in context to the Indian market?
So this, let's look at it in a three-component aspect. One, in a whole cold chain, especially right from pickup to the final place of delivery, to make it easy for the layman to understand is it. So one is that the type of equipment that is currently there at various levels is a little imbalanced, because someone may need a 20 feet container, someone may need a 40 feet container. In the road transportation, someone may need a smaller vehicle. So the availability of those still remains a challenge. Two is that the temperature in this country is not consistent across. It varies drastically. There is high amount of variation in terms of some being heavy on rain to some being heavy on heat. Also, it's not like in the past that in summer you could define the period. Look at what is happening in Delhi. In a month of July we had heavy rains, but in the month of August we saw it was extremely hot, and there were no spell of rains. So that becomes a challenge as far as the local pickups are concerned. Then when you try and start moving the cargo out from India, then there are other challenges in the transshipment hubs like Dubai or Doha or Abu Dhabi, where the temperature is extremely high, and then when it arrives at the final destination, the other challenges is that including Europe have started to become extremely hot. In month of July, we saw that Europe was much hotter than what it was in Bangalore. So I think these are the way we should look at it. How do we then address these three areas with quality packaging and ensuring that the transportation happens more in an easier way and sustained way.
There are a lot of emerging technologies or innovation solutions that are coming in play and playing a pivotal role in shaping the future. So if you can tell me, what are these emerging technologies and initiatives that will shape the cold chain industry going forward?
So when we started the cold chain industry, it was primitive in terms of using thermocol boxes and gel packs and dry ice as the only mode of transportation clearly. Then we moved to active technologies, which are containers which are based of using compressors and using them. The advantage with them was that they were constantly being charged, so there was no chances of temperature dropping and rest of them. But then the disadvantage with them was that they couldn't be screened through X-ray missions, as a result of which you had to get out. So from there we started to move to the passive technology. The passive technology has been great in terms of fill it, shut it and forget it was the modus that you take the box to the shipper's place, he stuffs the cargo, he puts his data logger, and then it comes immediately back to the ultimate consignee. Now the emerging technology is hybrid technology. In a hybrid technology, what happens is that it's a passive solution, but you can recharge it in transit. That means once you put the box from a hot temperature into a temperature controlled warehouse, then the life of the box again regenerates to almost the day one level. So as the process, this is one bit of a technology that is coming in very clear, and it's there in the market. The other technology that's coming is that one-time use boxes, where you take the box, use the box, it reaches the destination, and then you just dispose of the box. So these are some of the critical technologies. Also, temperature ranges have now have many options for -70. In case of a -70, earlier the options were very, very limited. So cost of transportation was extremely high. But now you have multiple options. So, and the amount of research that is happening will only result in more and more technologies coming. And all these are coming with real-time tracking, which is the other good thing that is there. So I think overall we have made good progress as far as the whole packaging solutions being made available to us.
Well, sir, now we are at CCUB 2023, so how can we not talk about the event? You know, like me, many have flown to Bangalore to attend CCUB 2023, which has become an extravaganza. Um, you are the man behind this event. What was your inspiration and vision behind the event?
So, like I said, even in the past, CCUB was born with a clear purpose, passion, and dedication and commitment by a few set of people who got together saying that we need to do something to address the industry issues, because there were other platforms which were there, but we saw that the industry issues were not being addressed. And why CCUB has become what it is today is that it's born out of pain. When I lost my mom and dad many years ago, and then later my in-laws as well, I realized that India needs good packaging solutions and addressing cold chain, because most of us are able to send the patient to the hospital, but the way the medicine is transported, handled, and administered was something which was lacking. So we started initially with a concept called beat the heat many years ago, and said that how do we beat the heat really to get the temperature to control. And once we learned how to beat the heat, we said now how do we manage the whole cold chain and bake an unbroken cold chain. And so that is the result of it, that we've come a long way. Most of the solutions that were used for COVID transportation are the solutions which got launched at the CCUB. So one of the things we are proud of is that most of the solutions, when they entered India, they entered through CCUB, and so CCUB should take a lot of credit that we have not only helped the industry, but we've also become a platform for people to launch their products and be successful. Probably it's their luck or our luck that the product gets launched in CCUB and becomes a super hit.
Well, sir, thank you so much for coming up with the concept of CCUB, because I've been interviewing a lot of delegates that are here, and they all appreciate this industry initiative, and they all understand the need for such events in the industry to collaborate and move forward. So once again, thank you for conducting CCUB 2023, and thank you for taking out time for this conversation.
Thank you so much, Kavi, and my pleasure to be talking to you.
Thank you, sir.